Alright, well, let's see if we can make this work out. Been very low energy lately. I think that should be enough. I should be able to just pull that side apart and I can get in there. Okay, cool. And these were pretty close, but I'm not feeling anything that feels like a damage. So the only thing that's in here is emotional. And not even that. Anyways. There's also this, although I don't know what the hell this is. Let me take a peek. That's a hentai. Okay, but looks okay to show. Shape of Love. Do you hate girls with dirty minds? I guess the back is a little showy, a little, you know, spicy. But okay. It's nice with that new hentai is coming out. Although I don't know if any of it's actually good. Mon Colle Knights Complete English Dub TV series. Now I do believe this Japanese with subtitles version came out before, and here's dubbed version, I think. I don't remember when I ordered this. It's hard to remember. Okay. But you know, it's kind of got a cute look to it, just like the other one. As you can see, English audio. That's about what we would expect. Ooh, different in the slipcover. And I've got hiccups. Oh, cool. Pretty character designs. Next up, we have a Blu-ray version of Astro Boy. I do believe this was the 1980 TV series. Well, I guess let's get this open and see if we can find evidence. I mean, it's most likely not the old 1960s one, just because we can see all the color. Oh, what the hell is that? Is that colored? I think it is. Oh well, anyways, down here we can see that there's dub and sub. And this one is thick for a the Eastern Star discotheque release. And it's almost like they're squeezing a whole lot of stuff into it. Disc 2, Disc 3, Disc 4, and Disc 5. Yeah, and a lot of this art style is definitely more 1980s. I mean, you can kind of feel some of the 1960s art style bleeding into that, but I do believe it's still something. Darkstalkers, whose characters seem to have been around for a billion years. And was this a fighting game? Was this something else? This is an anime version of whatever it is. And I have had it on DVD for a long time. What do we have here? It looks like English and Japanese dubs. So it's got subtitles. The Warriors of the Night come out to play. Same on the inside. I'm having trouble processing and seeing all the characters there, but you know what I think I need to do? 4 OVA episodes, I think I need to reverse this. Because not only is this the same as what was on the slipcover, if you're like me, then you're kind of curious what this image brings. I kind of like this one better. You know, I guess it doesn't show up as much as I think her name is Morgana or something like that. It doesn't show up as much as her features, but I feel like it makes it feel more dangerous somehow. Maybe not necessarily in a bad guy sort of way. I don't know if she's a good guy or bad guy. As Miss Beelzebub likes it. Looks cute and adorable. And while I'm curious, you'll find that my watching of anime has not been very productive. Which should be obvious from my lack of energy. I mean, the lack of energy doesn't come from... this is Japanese with English subtitles. Working 9 to 5. But it is rather that my lack of energy caused my lack of energy here, and also my lack of energy to consume watching stuff. Next up, we have stickers covering up, I guess, Sexy Knee and a Half. And that person I think is a guy, but I'm not 100% sure it's not a girl. Kemono Jihen. And this is covering up sexy red triangles. Come out, red triangles. La la. Not sure what to make of some of these character designs. Like, they're not bad. But I'm like, I think a lot of these are supposed to be guys. That one might not be. And while that looks like a guy, there's something about it that looks a little more, I don't know, regions A and B, English dub. And since that's the character on the inside, well, okay, he's a character there too. He definitely looks more boyish from certain angles. But now I kind of wonder, what's triggering my... Are there reverse traps or something like that in here? Something is triggering that, and I don't know that's necessarily the kind of anime that definitely would have that. Oh god, this plastic is sticking. There we go. There's just something about the art style which triggers that instinct. So, you know, if I'm wrong, that's a funny thing to call me out on. Let's see. Oh. That's a little dark. Edgy. Could be good. I don't know anything about the series, but... Characters with dark sides, other sides, alternative sides? Interesting. A curiosity. Next up, we've got Lupin the Third, Part 1 on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure I haven't had this on Blu-ray yet, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. It got re-released again. Well, here it is again, and sometimes I just don't have the energy to search. I'd rather just buy the thing, show it to y'all. Worst case, you're like, oh, this came out again. That's good to know. I can see English and Japanese, you know, so there's dub and sub. Difference on the inside. I'm not sure that I haven't not bought this before. 3 discs. Inside, that's the same as the slipcover. In case you don't have the slipcover and you prefer that imagery. Cool beans. Super Cub. These look like girls on, well, I was going to say motorcycles, but I think technically this is more of a moped, and that's kind of a scooter, or motorized scooter maybe. She doesn't seem to have anything unless that bicycle is there. Super Cub seems to have a moped sort of thing. Slice of life hit that will kickstart your heart. Kickstart makes it sound like it has something to do with those, but those might not be the major draw to an anime like this. Regions A and B. English. For some reason I was reading that and seeing Blu-ray. So, dub and subbed. Maybe Super Cub has a super dub. And once again, we're taking a peek at the inside. Same as the front. I see a person on the notepad there. Get the impression maybe they're just like into a motor club or sort of thing. I don't know if she would be or not. They would be the sort of thing where usually you have a stereotype of like a girl getting into it and that's how she meets a circle of friends, but I don't know that this gives me that impression either. Kageki Shojo. And, you know, since I had the other anime that seemed to be mostly guys, this one, you know, seems mostly girls. Shoujo, I mean, I don't think it's spelled the way that shoujo is normally spelled, but usually that means young lady, young girl, or something like that. A stage, a spotlight, a dream. Looks like this sticker on the back is giving me problems. I don't give a rat's ass. I just want to get to my DVD on the underside. Ooh. Well, now I kind of care because that's coming off. I mean, barely coming off of my fingers, but... Well, as annoying as it was very non-destructive of the Blu-ray. Something felt a little mixed there, but I'm not feeling it now. Must have been a piece of plastic. Anyways. Regions A and B. That looks like an English dub. Also subtitles, of course. Wait a second. Color's different. Oh, it's a different image on the back. Same image on the front, different image on the back. That's kind of cool. Okay, I think those are flowers, but I can't visually process what I'm seeing, so they look just like salmon eggs and blue salmon eggs or something like that. I'm trying to remember another word for that kind of food. Blanking. So, you know, they do seem to be wearing school garments sort of stuff, but they appear to be, you know, like a drama club or something like that. Did I do that? Oh well, that's fine. I think that was there. I was just conveniently ignoring it. I don't know. Last but not least, we have Popeye or Poupelle of Chimney Town. I by default, when I see something like that and it strikes me as, oh, maybe it's a foreign language, the double L makes me default to Spanish, which the double L, I believe that's the AA sound, and it's the kind of Y sound. But Popeye doesn't sound right. Poupelle. Poupelle. Maybe that sounds closer to right. I'm not sure, because this definitely gives me a European sort of vibe, but I admittedly don't know much about it. I do see it's Blu-ray DVD. It looks like from the back it's maybe a movie. You know, I'm looking at that there while I open it. Even though this plastic is choosing not to come off. frustrating. Looking at the back, I see an A there, which makes me think it's region A only. DVDs are probably going to be something or the other. This does not feel super flip booky. Couple pages to look up. If you believe the world will change. Introduction. One more page. Message and credits. Don't know much about this. Feels like, you know, this stuff kind of makes it feel like this is an anime movie with something to say. Maybe that's an interesting thing to say. We'll have to see if I have the energy to see it. Alright. Here's this week's anime DVD collection update. Alright, so my anime watching continues to not be all that spectacular. Ever so slightly more than last week, but still pretty bad. So let's talk about the stuff I did watch. So, Spy Family Episode 9, you know, again, that tends to be top series that I really want to see more episodes for. I almost worry that if it wasn't for that, would I actually be watching any anime? Would I have the energy to keep going? And I don't know. And that has nothing to do with the quality of the anime out right now. It's more just my general energy levels. Last week was not a very non-stressful week. But when it comes to the anime, so it's interesting because Spy Family Episode 9 was the first episode that didn't really put forward comedy as I think its strongest point. Like, a lot of the episodes tend to be just mind-bogglingly amazing, and they continue playing along the humorous situation that's setting up and unfolding and changing and developing, and really liking characters and stuff like that, and still really liking characters. But this one felt like the moment with the most interesting drama that it kind of made me want to hold my breath a little bit. And without going into more details, you know, it was pretty well managed and well maintained. I like what it did, and I enjoy what happened. I think we got to see serious-sided characters that we've seen plenty before, but this time it felt a little more worrisome, even though we kind of knew this isn't the last episode. It's not the penultimate episode as far as I know. So, it's at a good place. So, good for the series. Continuing to be good. Skeleton Knight Episode 9. Yes, so we saw that, and that. And I had to yawn in the middle of recording a YouTube video. And Skeleton Knight's continuing to just be kind of nice. I think we're getting a bigger picture of kind of slightly bigger fish to fry. But again, the show isn't setting itself as some sort of we gotta save the world kind of thing. It's still a situation. Our main character wants to keep a low profile. He's kind of sort of been able to, although I think he's kind of got a good reputation against certain people. But the show isn't about emphasizing that stuff, and I guess I'm just enjoying it. And I didn't mention this about Spy Family, but you know, we're getting close to the last quarter of this core. If you don't know, core would be kind of like a dozen episodes. So usually anime kind of tends to come out in dozen-ish episode chunks, and this is why you got so many anime that are like 11 to 13 episodes. You got so many anime that are 24 to 26 episodes, things like that. So like when somebody asked me, how long is X anime? I don't know how many episodes it specifically is, but it's about 2 core. And they're like, oh, yeah, I counted there's 25 episodes. You know, that's in the 24 to 26, that's 2 core. That's C-O-U-R. I don't even know if that's a super official thing, but I get the impression it was, probably is. Take me at a grain of salt, correct me if y'all need to. But, you know, as we're getting closer to that, we need to see what the anime are planning to do with that. They don't necessarily need to be setting up for a series finale. Doesn't even necessarily need to be a setup for a season finale, but is something that, you know, is usually pretty notable if they're only planned for one core. So,
it's definitely interesting to think how they're setting it up, and Skeleton Knight is moving forward at a pace with which it could do something notable at the end of its core. Spy Family 2, but we'll have to see, because Spy Family feels like a show that was planned to go for more than one core. Even though I don't know if the storytelling animation quality could definitely stay around for that long, but if it can, great for it. And then there's Trapped in the Dating Sim, The World of Atomic Games is Tough for Mobs. So episode 10, and yeah, they are setting up for something that is looking to be a pretty big thing happening, so potential correct thing to be doing. And episode 10 is notable because I think some of that quirkiness of our main character that just kind of makes him entertaining to watch, I felt like it shined a little bit stronger in episode 10 than it had in the previous couple of episodes. But the previous couple of episodes have been going into a somber place where he's like needing to remember his place, although he's not thinking of his place in terms of the way he's actually interacting with characters, but rather the kind of meta, oh yeah, I'm just a mob character in a dating sim game. And some of that stuff is kind of depressing to think about, but kind of refreshing in that depressingness as well, if you know what I mean. It's not the strongest thing about the show, but it's definitely one of those feelings that's just sort of like, yeah, it's kind of nice to feel that. I kind of sympathize with your main character. Good guy main character. He's, doing things, but whatever. Anyways, the only other anime I watched was 2 more episodes of Isekai Izakaya, and that's episodes 6 and 7. And the main reason for that was just because, I'm not feeling in the greatest energy, and I felt like I could watch a couple episodes of that just because nothing's happening. There's a lot of food. It's not food that I would actually want to eat, but I could see why people would really want to eat it. I don't eat a lot of seafood. I'm not a big fan of, well, pretty much anything I've eaten from the sea, but fish in particular. But when I've dabbled in things like shrimp and crab and other things like that, I just never really liked them. But, this show kind of has a whole lot of that, and that makes sense. It's about Japanese cuisine, and, if there's 2 staples of Japanese cuisine, that's rice and fish. Now, not everything is rice, and not everything is fish, and not everything is rice or fish, but, they're pretty damn common there. And it makes a lot of sense. And so, pleasant episodes. If there's anything about it, I wouldn't exactly call it annoyed, but with episode 7, it introduces, there was this girl who broke in. She didn't really break in, but she did let herself in when she wasn't supposed to be in, and she was thinking of stealing or something like that. And, I think the big problem I have with that is she's cute, you want to do something about her, but that's the problem, is I have this doubt that somebody who is cute and adorable and on the streets would necessarily find themselves on the street without some sort of help, because I would instinctually feel like people would still want to help her in some way, like our main characters did. And it's not like the other characters of the medieval isekai particularly object or anything like that. They have some words, but it's sort of like, it's sort of like the same as the cooking part of that, where there's some motions it's going through, and it's all okay. But at the same time, there's a part of me that can't help but think that it is still kind of a cheap thing to do, to just introduce another cute character like that is in a place where we, the audience, would want to help her, and we are glad that the characters in the show help her. But is it really showing a true level of altruism? Like, what if instead you had a character that looked absolutely hideous and they helped them anyways? That could be something that would be that would feel a little more genuine. And it's not supposed to be an anime about helping people, but it's still one of those things where it's just like, sometimes it feels a little fake, and when I don't have a lot of energy, sometimes I can't resist noticing that. And it's not the only anime that does that in any way, shape, or form. you know, there's a lot of shows that go for those cheap protective instinct sort of things. But I definitely appreciate the shows that, you know, set up more complex characters and understand people are probably not as likely to say, oh, that absolutely adorable person over there, well, I'm going to just hate them for no reason. Well, I don't know. Anyway, shouldn't. I don't know. So where has my time been going? The truth of the matter is I think I've been mostly zoning out. I know I've spent some time in Unity, just tinkering around with an avatar, but I haven't been making very fast progress with that. I haven't been playing a super ton of Dead by Daylight, just enough so that I'm prepared for what is hopefully the release of the Dredge tomorrow. I don't know if they're planning to delay it, but I think everybody is expecting it to come out tomorrow, because that would be, I think, when they maybe announced it. But I haven't seen as much chattering about the official release and what time it officially releases and stuff like that. So for me, it's just mostly I have enough blood points saved up so that when they come out, I'll have about 1.5 million, and I'm gonna put as much of that into the Dredge as I can to get him up to level 50. And then Haiti becomes the target, and then once Haiti gets up, I get her Hades perks onto Sybil or Cheryl. But I don't know how long that's going to take. Fortunately, if this all slows me down, then it means there's a chance for all of this to happen before, you know, for me to not do a whole lot of prestige before the prestige rework comes out. But if it does come out, then that's all cool. You know, I'll figure it all out. Anyways, beyond that, yeah, I don't think I've really been doing much else. I'm just kind of exhausted. So, hopefully y'all haven't been as exhausted. Y'all have a nice week.